Aileen Carol Wuornos, dubbed America's first female serial killer. One of the most notorious female serial killers in American history. Good Lord, left behind a trail of horror that still captures the public's imagination. Her story is as tragic as it is chilling, as Wuornos' murders exposed the darker undercurrents of a woman driven to violence by a life of abuse and torment. Wuornos was born in 1956 in Michigan, people, into a life marked by neglect and violence. Her mother abandoned her when she was just a young child, and Wuornos was raised by her grandparents. Early in her life, she faced unimaginable abuse, and by her teenage years, she had turned into prostitution to survive. She had to sell that snatch people to put food on the table. Anyway, these traumatic experiences would go on to shape her troubled psyche and lead her down a path of destruction. In 1989, when Wuornos was in her 30s, she was young and beautiful, she began her killing spree. Over a period of 12 months, Wuornos murdered 7 men along Florida's highways. The circumstances surrounding each death were eerily similar. Wuornos, while working as a prostitute, would lure her victims into her car. She'd be like, "Come get this pussy. You know you want this pussy. $10 for this pussy," she said. Once in a vulnerable position, she would overpower them, often shooting them at close range. Some of the victims' bodies were later discovered in remote areas, stripped of valuables. Wuornos claimed that the men had attempted to assault her and that she had killed them in self-defense. Her reign of terror went largely undetected until 1990, when a crucial break in the case came. In November of that year, a police officer discovered the body of one of Wuornos' victims. As investigators pieced together the evidence, they soon began to link the deaths to a single perpetrator. They're gonna catch the bitch. But what shocked authorities was that the killer was a woman. Something unheard of at the time. People. Wuornos' arrest in January of 1991 was the result of a tip from her former lover, Tyria Moore, who had helped Wuornos evade capture for a time. Once in custody, Wuornos initially denied involvement in the killings. However, after hours of interrogation, she eventually confessed, claiming that she had killed the men in self-defense during attempted assaults. Her story was one of survival and emotionally charged narrative of a woman pushed to the edge by years of violence and trauma. The case, people, the case gained national attention, not only because of the brutality of the murders, but also because of the complex psychology behind them. Wuornos' defense team argued that she had been a victim of circumstances, her troubled past, her life as a prostitute, and her ongoing mental health struggles painted a grim picture. She believed she was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, people, from years of abuse, while others felt her actions were rooted in a deeper rage and hatred for men. In 1992, Wuornos stood trial for the murder of Richard Mallory, the first of her victims. She was convicted and sentenced to death. The following year, she was convicted of 6 more murders. During her time on death row, Wuornos became a highly publicized figure. Her case sparked debate about the death penalty, female offenders, and the intersection of mental health and criminal behavior. Aileen Wuornos, this lady right here, people, this lady right here, was executed by lethal injection on October 9th, 2002 at the Florida State Prison. She was 46 years old. In her final moments, people, she made a controversial statement saying, "I just like to say I'm sorry for all the people I've done wrong to." Whether her apology was sincere or simply another part of the complex persona she had crafted throughout her life remains a subject of speculation. She